Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineonmypocket.com, back with you again on the channel to share some more fun with some small dies. Now these little clover dies were a freebie if you purchased some Miss Ink stamps. However, if you didn't get this, there's also this little club die that you could use from this stamp set. This is the Wonderland Wisdom stamp set, and there's a die in there for that. But I just love these little clovers, and I cut some out of both green and gold. And I'm going to use the beautiful rainbows stencil here to make a card. I am thinking ahead towards a very lucky day coming up, and I wanted to make a card with a little nod to that. I'm using my little pouncer tool here and just picked one of the rainbows. I've cut out a couple different sizes of squares, and this is the smallest square, and it will fit on an A2 size card. So I'm just choosing some of my favorite rainbow colors here in Distress Inks, and that's the first layer. Then we'll add the second layer, and I'll change out my little top here to this tool. This is so cool because you can just pull this off. There we go. Add another one and have a different top for all of the colors. And it's perfect for small stencils like this, especially when you don't want to use some pixie spray to hold them down. Just want to pounce that color on, so it's perfect. I'm just going to finish off with the little heart using some hot pink ink here. And I'll add it to these little decorative smaller lines too, and then the top part I'm going to use the opposite side of that pouncer tool. I'm using kind of the not the fully round ones, but the curved tops, and so I can just use one side for the hot pink and the other side for the red here. So we'll just do it just like this, and it's just kind of a fun little whimsical, really cute rainbow. I love this stencil. There's a lot you can do with it. You could also use all of them on one panel front. So just leave them all intact and color them all at the same time. Now I'm using the diagonal stencil to create a background square here. And this will give us some nice black lines behind that rainbow. I love the look. I'm also going to do a different rainbow for those of you that don't want too much color, but you'd rather just do a calmer look. I'm going to use the same rainbow, but this time I'm going to use gold and black ink for it. So I'm going to tape this down here. This is the stencil placement guide from Miss Ink Stamps, and you can easily tape that down and then hold your stencil in place so that you can line it up perfectly every time. So this is another neat trick to use. I'm going to start with the black ink this time. I'll pounce that on first to this layer, and then for this next layer I'll line that back up right there using that stencil placement guide, and then I'll hold that down with my magnet just like this, and then I'll use the gold on this one. Now it's going to be a little difficult to see in the video, but this is like a metallic gold ink, and it's so pretty. It adds a little bit of shimmer and sparkle to it. So I'll pounce that on as well. And here's our little golden rainbow. It's so cute. I really love this. I opted not to put the heart in the middle this time. Instead, I'm going to use that for something else, or we're going to do a different design. I also used the diagonal with some rainbow colors for the background on this one. And I think what we'll do is use that beautiful faux wax seal and one of those cute little letters for the bottom of this rainbow. Now for my second card, I am going to be putting some green on this background here. This is just the rustic wilderness color, and I'm also going to add some black around the edges. So I'm going to slowly add this color on and build it up slowly as we go. I love working on this glass board studio mat because it is so easy and slick to just start off the paper and then move it on easily. So I'll add that to this as we build this up. There we go. And now it's time to put our cards together. So this is a dark, dark green background, and now I'm going to add a little bit of gold, sparkle, and shimmer by just using some of this mica spray in the tarnished brass color, and I'm just going to use it to flick on a little bit of color. So I'm taking the top off and putting it inside my box and just flicking that on a little bit. While that dries, I'm going to make my second card background, and I'm going to use all these little green clovers that I cut out earlier from that new little die. It's so cute. And we'll add all those to this card background. You can see there are some regular clovers and there are some 4-leaf clovers, so I'm just kind of alternating those in lines. And I didn't create full lines behind that square because I knew they were just going to get covered up by what I'm putting on top. So I just put them around the edges, on the sides, and you're not even going to know that there aren't a full line of clovers underneath there. We'll finish adding that on, and now we can put together the rest of the panels here. I'm going to pick up this luck. I cut this out of the Punny Farm Alpha die set, and I spelled out the word luck, and these were just extras that I had. So I'm going to go ahead and pick them all up with some low tack tape, glue them all down at once underneath this first rainbow we did, and then pull that tape off. And I like to pull the tape off right away so that I have time to move the letters a little bit if I need to. And that'll just go on perfectly just like that. I'm going to add some foam tape and add this first panel here. And we're not finished yet, but I'm going to set that aside while I work on the next one. And this has dried fully. And so I went ahead and created this panel here, and now I'm trying to decide which way do I like this to go. And I think that way will work out perfectly fine. So I've added some foam tape to the back of this panel as well, and I'm going to attach that to the green background. And I've already gold heat embossed our sentiment that says sending sunshine and rainbows. I gold heat embossed that on some green cardstock to match, and I'll pop that up. That's from this stamp set called Sunshine and Rainbows, which is perfect. And I'll pop that up right there underneath. Look at that. You can see how dreamy that is. And to finish this one off, I cut a dark green frame to go around the edge, and that will just complete the look. So I'll add some glue, add that around just like this. You could also cut this panel down and add a matte frame behind it of paper so you don't have to cut the small frame. I've really been into cutting these frames lately. So I love the look. There's the luck. And here's our other one with the little letter and the gold shamrock. So fun and really easy to put together. I'm just going to add this one to a card base now. But I've got St. Patrick's Day on my mind, and I know exactly who I'm going to send these to. I've got some March birthdays coming up. So there we go. There's a look at the 2 cards that we created using some stencils and small dies from Missing Stamps, which I love. I will list and link everything below so you can take a look if you're interested. But thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I hope you got some inspiration on how to use some small dies in different ways. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we have lots more to share, lots more inspiration and cards and fun. Thank you so much for stopping by today. We'll see you real soon. I'll be back with more inspiration. Until then, happy crafting.